Assalamualaikum and hi. So today's topic is food. So today I'm going to share about the benefits of eating spicy food. So first of all, the benefit of eating spicy food is spicy food can improve your brain health because some spicy food such as turmeric has a lot of properties that can reduce Alzheimer's and Parkinson disease. This is because there's certain compound that help reduce stress and some extent improve your memory's function. That's why you can avoid being Alzheimer's. So next benefit is eating spicy food can help you burn calories. It is because spicy food is because a recent study from the Purdue University found out that most of the people consuming spicy food, especially hot peppers, can initiate the process of burning a lot of fat, eventually impact directly on their weight loss. So there's evidence that consuming these foods can reduce appetite by a greater measure with later impacts on what you have been consuming. And by eating spicy food itself, cannot like fully help you lose your calorie. You have to do some activities such as like workouts or yoga. So the next benefit of eating spicy food is it helps you to prevent diabetes. Because when you eat spicy food, it will help your body to increase your insulin levels. So insulin can help you can help with diabetes. So by eating spicy food, it can help you produce more insulin in your body. Okay. So, and last but not least, eating spicy food can make you happy. This is because when you eat spicy food, such as consuming hot peppers, can make you happier because it can help brain to produce happy hormones such as serotonin. So when you are happy, it will lead you to it will help you to deal with anger, your anxiety, depression, or stress. So this is one of the reasons why you should consume spicy food. So that is all from me. Thank you.
So today I would like to talk about fresh food versus canned food. So as the world become more technological, food technology also improve. Human has created methods to preserve food to last longer, and one of them is can them. So of course there are many differences of both fresh food and canned food. So the most notable differences between these two kind of food is their flavor. Fresh food have great flavor and taste because they keep all their natural condition. Canned foods, however, lack a lot of its flavor characteristics because there are some other chemical products added to the natural foods. It is logical that the fresh food will have greater taste than flavor when consumed just because of the time in which they have been prepared. Comparing both type of foods, we notice other dissimilarities. There is a health factor that affect both of them. Unlike fresh foods, canned foods lose some of the original fresh food nutrients when stored. Also, it has to be thinned with many conservative and chemical factors to prolong the shelf life and apparent freshness of the food, but could become toxic if consumed too often. Yet another difference between these two types of food is the cost. Canned foods are much more expensive than fresh foods. Here's the benefit of buying tin foods is that they are easier to find, for example, in the supermarket instead of the market like the fresh foods, and they require less work to prepare than fresh foods. Just open and serve. uh, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, today I will talk about the five benefits of balanced diet. Okay, the first benefit is we can control our weight. This is because when we eat processed food, sugary food, and fatty food, the nutrition provide will only use a little on our body as energy. Second one is we can fight off disease. When we eating a balanced diet, essential nutrients will be produced and help us maintain key fighting cell in system and greatly improve our vascular function. The other one is we have more energy. This is because when we eat nutrient dense food, it will in our system in a longer period of time. On the other hand, when we eat sugary food, it will be digested faster. After that, it could also help us sleep better. This is because when we have poor eating habit, we will often have stomachache and digestive issue due to the toxin that release into the blood system. Lastly, we have more brain power. This is because when we take omega-3 fatty acid, it will provide us energy and the ability to learn.
Okay, so hi everyone. So for today's topic, I'm going to talk about the genetic engineering in foods industry. So, based on the United States Food and Drug Administration, GM foods or genetically modified foods are foods produced from organisms that have had changes introduced into their DNA using the methods of genetic engineering. To simply put, these GM foods have been altered genetically to survive and adapt to certain condition by deleting or inserting a certain traits from another organism. So there are a few examples of GM foods and the condition they have made. So the first one is flavor saver tomatoes are modified by removing the genes that was responsible to soften the fruit, which leads the tomatoes to last longer. Then we have the aqua advantage salmon that was modified with growth hormone from Atlantic salmon that was that resulting them to grow faster to fit the market earlier. And then we have bitcoins that was inserted a gene from a bacteria that produce insect toxins to repel the pest. So the question is it safe? This food have been tasted and actually we have been consuming it for a very long time casually and proven that it doesn't give any bad effects on human as 90% of the scientists are agree with this. However, only one to third of American Medical Association, the National Academy of Science, and the American Association of the Advancement of Science and the World Health Organization have agreed that this actually safe for human as the fears and dangerousity of GMO has only been proven on technically and there's no a medical case that stating that it is not safe for human. So that's all for me. Thank you.
So hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the processed food. So processed food are the foods that undergone chemical operations to as preservative to it to last longer and making processed food more convenient. So there are some benefits from food processing, which is minimally food processed like frozen vegetables without any sauce tend to be better for your health. So according to World Health Organization, WHO, an unhealthy diet high in fat, added sugar, and salt, such as one containing a lot of highly processed food. So processed food can increase the risk of cancer, diabetes, and a heart disease. So first, the thing in the processed food is added sodium. So it prevents the spoilage of the food, add flavors, and improve the texture of the food. So there is a research where they inform us that people can consume an average of people are nowadays are consuming an average of 3,436 milligram of sodium per day, which is more than the recommended level, which is 2,300 milligram. So it quietly twice time high than the limited one. So the secondly is the added sugar. So high level of sugar can increase the risk of for heart disease, obesity, cavities, and diabetes. So women limit for added sugars is not more than 100 calories, whereas for men, limit added sugar not more than 155 calories per day. So thirdly, trans fat. Most trans fat mostly contained in the margarines, baked goods and desserts, frozen pizzas, microwave popcorns, and coffee creamers. So this fat is most unhealthy fat, so which may lead to high cholesterol, heart disease, and strokes. Last but not least, the nutrition loss. Processed food which undergone the chemical process will undergo the heat process. So the heat process of the processed food will cause the loss of vitamin C in it. So sometimes processed foods also allergic due to more food additives in it. So at last, so let us consume less processed food and eat healthy food which contain minerals, nutritions, and vitamins for a healthy lifestyle. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Livinya, for the information. So, for my topic on food regarding our news, it's gonna be superfood. So, if anybody had heard superfood is like a term used for marketers actually, because according to dietitian, superfood is not in any classification of a certain food that is specified to be a superfood. So a dietitian stated that superfood is just a term that marketers use to make their product become more popular so that people would buy them. So the examples of superfood that you might have known is blueberries, onions, garlic, kale, and sweet potato. Like most of the organic food that consists of fibers, um, no trans fat like fibers, vitamins, nutrients, and also antioxidants. Yeah, because antioxidant helps in reduce of the cancer activity. So other than that, people are some people are arguing, especially scientists and also um, people who aren't scientists, like normal people, because many people believe that this superfood can help them reduce a certain risk of health, which is true because if you take healthy food, then you will live healthier. But consuming too much of healthy food can also be bad for you, because according to a scientist and especially dietitian that studies food, for us to have a healthy lifestyle, we have to start taking many different kind of vitamins and also nutrition. So we can't just focus to one food and expecting that we will be healthy. So overall, what I'm going to share about superfood is that we have to. It's good to know that every kind of food has a certain amount of nutrient that's good for us if we are lacking in it, and also eat many type of food that can benefit us, not just eat certain amount of food or certain tablet of food because it's labeled superfood. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakinah, for the information. So my news is about food that help our brain study. So the food we put into our body can have a huge impact on how our brain works. So this is important to remember around exam time when you are probably paying more attention to books than breaking. So I will tell about the food that we eat affect our body, so we can choose food that improve our memory, fuel our brain, and help us match our study schedule. So our brain is the more complex part of our body. Like a computer, it's run millions of process every day. It's never stop working, so it need constant topping up with the fuel it operates on, glucose, which is a type of sugar. Our body again our body obtains glucose from our food and it's delivered to the brain through the bloodstream. So the problem is our brain cannot store glucose, so we need to top up our level every day. If our brain isn't properly fueled, we likely to feel sad and irritable. So we might also have trouble sleeping, poor memory, and difficulty problem solving. So the best food that we need to eat, which are protein. So it can help our brain send message to the rest of our body and help create brain chemical that improve our body. Omega-3, which is oily fish, flaxseed, that can help our brain work harder and improve our mental health. Caffeine, we take in small amount or small doses, which is tea, coffee, or dark chocolate, so it can help feel refreshed and more focused. So lastly is water. Water is vital to be keeping your body and brain in tip-top shape and feel refreshed. So that's all.
Thank you, Farisha. For me, I'm going to talk about how food brings us together. First, people can share their culture with others through food. Especially here in Malaysia, we have multiracial people living in one country. We can eat traditional dishes from our own culture with our family and learn about our own heritage through the recipes that are passed down within our family. We can also share our cultural dish from our own culture with our friends. Cultural expression through food will not only allow us to be exposed with new flavors, but will also allow us to get an opportunity to understand on how other cultures and our culture differ from each other. By eating together, you can become more aware of each other's cultural background. Furthermore, it will let us stay connected by having a meal together or even a coffee talk allow us to catch up with one another. It's important to keep in touch with the people in our life even though we are all busy handling our own life. And this is how we can stay connected with others and maintain our relationship. That's all from me.
Okay, now I will talk about the most one of the most problem that happen in food industry, which is food waste. Okay, for you guys, for information, in just US country, about 150,000 tons food that wasted every day. So you guys can count how much food waste in each year That is just one country. So how about in the world? Might be a billion or more than that ton every day food wasted. Okay. First, I want to talk about why food waste happen. Okay, firstly, one of the most reason why this problem happen is human overbuying. Okay, this because they buy food that not needed, or some things that they buy the food that uh, okay, sorry. Okay, they is mean overbuying. Okay. The second point is the lack of planning. Is mean like an example, like a big event or hotel industry in restaurant. When they receive any order, uh, the order sometimes might be over, so this will lead to food waste. It's because the preparation, the planning is very bad, so it's make many of food wasted. Okay. Uh, Other than that, there are some errors in an industrial process that uh, that happen in our policies. Okay, the example is confusion and errors during industrial processing of food, that all food items that not match the standard of the food will be wasted. This always happen in imported in importing food to other country. When the food is not uh, achieve the standard, the minimum standard of the food will reject and will be wasted. Okay, so now I will share how to avoid this food waste from happening. First, we need to plan. We need to plan that we need to plan what the food that is important and what food we need to eat. So this will not lead to overbuying. Okay. Other than that, people need to learn how to preserve the food, like pickling, drying, fermenting, and also canning. So this will extend the period of the food from become rotten. Okay. Lastly, check the expired. Check the expired continuously, so we concern about the expiry date of the food, and always use the freezer. uh, don't let our food uh, just dry on room temperature. Okay, just that all from me.
So that's all for today's discussion. So let's move to um, the opinion of you guys. So I do agree if we include Hasif point, which is the which is to spread the awareness about the food waste and ways to not actually to save food and not waste them, because we need to spread the awareness. Yeah.
So I would choose Allya's news, which is benefits of eating spicy food, because commonly we heard about the disadvantages of eating spicy food. It's new for me that Sakinah talk about the spicy foods benefits, and also Sakinah's point on superfoods, because before this I didn't heard about the superfoods, and it's quite new for me.
I think Allya's news also quite rare for me, quite news about the benefits of spicy food. Because I think our Malaysians very love spicy food. So that's interesting for us.
So I agree with Sakinah news also about superfood because it's quite interesting for me, and for me it's new information and to know about it.
Yes, I also agree with Sakina's article because it like because I haven't heard about superfood before, so it's kind of like new topic to me. So I would love to hear about it more. And I also agree with Hasif's article about food waste. So because in Malaysia, there's like we love to waste our food. So I think his article can bring us like awareness, just like what Balki said, to our country. So yeah.
Um, yeah, okay, because for me, I agree with Karen News because it's about how food can bring us together. I think in Malaysia, there are many type of foods in Malaysia that we know with different cultures and backgrounds. So that's the diversity of nation that can bring people together, and one of it is food. And the second point that I agree with is Hasif's point about food waste, and that's really a major, a critical thing that happen nowadays. And yeah, that both point can give awareness, positive and negative. Yeah, that's all from me.
How about you, Zulnajmi?
Okay, so I think I would like to agree with Ali's point, which is benefits of spicy foods because nowadays eating spicy foods is kind of a trend because we can see mukbang which they eat lots of spicy foods, and also we can find it maybe in the stall, Malaysian stall such as maybe ayam geprek, right? And I would like to agree with Hasif point too because people nowadays, including Malaysia, we like to waste our foods, which is it's very bad because we could not what we because our lands is Malaysia is become less because we need to I don't know.
Yeah, I understand what you want to say. Yeah. How about Ajmal?
For me, I agree with Hasif's point because we should raise more awareness about how to handle and manage uh, food waste. I also agree with Karen topic, which is food brought us together. It is actually an interesting topic for me. Okay, that is all.
Yeah, for Karen's news, we can food not only give us nutrient, but also they can give us friends and love from our family and etc. So I guess I do agree with Karen's point as well.
So I think the first choice is my point about food waste. So the second point is I think it's tied about Alia's point and Sakinah point, right? I think three people vote about. So so you guys, how about our decision about the second news?
for Alia's point, which is agree with that as well. As long as we put the precaution as well, because some of Malaysians really love to eat a lot of spicy food that can actually bring damage to their stomach and can cause hospitality and illicit. So I guess if we want to include um Alia's point, we need to at least put the precaution about it to actually consume it in the right amount of what can someone's stomach can take.
So yeah, I think we choose Alias point for the second. So you guys agree? Agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I think our discussion is going about to end. So yeah, bye. Have a good day.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye guys.